Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee Chat with Lindsey and Neely.
Yes, it's a coffee chat.
Yes, do you have black coffee today?
Funny enough, I do. How did
Oh,
you know? Did you
surprise!
have coffee with a splash of heavy cream
I
or
have
half and half?
coffee with a splash of half and half, so close enough.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have you've creamed your coffee to some degree.
I have. It is not black.
Mm-hmm.
Not black.
Someday.
Yes. Yep.
Mm. If you are here in the chat, please tell us hello. We've got Patty Molden, hello, and
She gets
Marie
gold
is
star.
here. She does get the gold star. And then Eclectic Cabin. Hello, good morning. Welcome to May. We did it. It's gonna be May. It's Beach Weave and Rick Wynn. Hey,
Hello.
Beach Weave, I sent you your package, albeit I sent it yesterday. But I got it out there.
Good
I'm
job.
sorry. Life has
Good
been
job.
stressful.
What? No. You
It's
have an
been
easy
stressful.
life.
So much going on, all the
Ugh.
things,
Well,
all the things.
I did my step workout that
Yeah.
I do at 9 a.m. on Wednesdays. And sometimes it's like a 25-minute workout, 30-minute workout. Today it was a 45-minute workout. So I had to rush to get my coffee done and to sit down. And so I'm still recovering here.
Where's your protein to recover with this step workout?
I should have put some marigold whey in my coffee.
You
I
should
just
have.
didn't have time.
You should have. You really should have.
I need to be better.
Do better. Be better. Do more.
Robin is here and Sing It is here with coffee with half and half. Because I left my heavy whipping left it like you're getting a divorce. That sounds bad. Kelly is here. Hello, good afternoon. Marie has iced coffee with homemade honey pemmican bar shaped like a dog paw. Now,
That's
that's gotta
precious.
look like a dog treat. I'm sorry, but anybody like watching you from the outside is gonna be like, why is she eating dog treats?
I
But
mean,
I'm sure they're delicious. And a dog
but
would probably
also
appreciate them as well.
I'm thinking like just because they would look like a dog treat doesn't mean it wouldn't be fun to make people look.
No kidding. Yeah, I would do it because of that. Haley is here finally, a day without rain.
Oh, same.
We haven't had much rain here. It's been sunny. It was like almost 80 degrees yesterday.
That's because we have all of your rain. It got turned around, took the
Mhm.
wrong turn, and it landed here.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys can keep it. We're enjoying this nice warm spring. Like it's been
Yeah.
amazing.
And then all of a sudden,
Beautiful.
summer's going to have like a 4-day blip where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm dying from the heat. And then all of a sudden, it'll flip cold for fall.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't complain. Let's see. Oh, left the having whipping cream at home. They're still together. It's fine. Suzanne is here going to get another cup of coffee. Suzanne missed the live stream yesterday because of silly work. And so I'm glad that work is not interfering today.
You mean last week or you said?
Did I say yesterday? Last week.
I heard yesterday, but I don't know if you said yesterday.
I couldn't even tell you.
This is where we are,
be
people.
Surprised either way. Let's see. The dogs are eyeing Marie. Yeah.
I
knew
mean,
it. Well,
checks
of course,
out.
dogs do that with no matter what you're eating. So,
I mean, yeah, that also checks out.
Bill is here. Stop by to see what's going on. Well, just same old, same old. And Kelly Sue is here. Hello.
Hi. Hey. So, yesterday, Salty released their new flavor, Blue Slushy.
Right. That's right.
And I gotta be honest, I love the packaging.
I know, it's so pretty.
And
it matches our cups.
Well,
do you have yours? I don't have mine.
It matches one of my cups.
Oh, yes.
I got it.
What? No, you did not. How did you manage that?
Witchcraft and wizardry.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah. So now citrus what is it? It's not citrus. It's not citrus splash anymore. What one is it?
It's something lemon lime, right? Lemon lime twist.
Twist. Yes.
Twist. Yeah.
It works with the twist now.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and it has on both sides. What? What?
I'll
cool.
I'll send you the contact information for my wizard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Always nice to have a good wizard contact info.
I mean, it's good to have one in your arsenal of
Well, I have a new cup also, and that's what I have sitting here.
Oh, look at that.
Because Element also came out with a new flavor. If I have it here. And yeah, they just released it to the insiders first, and then it'll be to everyone else shortly, probably in a couple of weeks. But it's the lemonade salt. And, at first when it came, I was like, is it really going to be any different than the citrus salt? But it is. It is a little different. And I actually really love it. It's like summer in a cup. So between Salty and Element, we are set for the summer.
Yep.
With all these delicious flavors.
Summer flavors are covered for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
So anyway,
good time.
Excellent. Yeah, I posted a video about Jeff guessing the flavor, which, spoiler alert, he guessed it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I told Chris that finally he named a flavor appropriately. Congratulations. But awesome. I didn't give my review on the video, and I love it. I think it's really good. And I think it's really different than the Element raspberry. Like the Element raspberry is a lot more acidic and like sour. The blue slush is very sweet, like candy sweet, like you would want from a blue slushy from 7-Eleven.
Snow cone, blue snow cone. That's what I think of the whole time.
Yep. So very, very delicious. Let's see. Oh dear. Suzanne had a breast biopsy 2 weeks ago. Apparently I have a DCIS and dealing with this. Oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
That is rough stuff. It says Jeff nailed it. He did. He really did.
Which is good. As a carpenter, we really hope that he nails it.
Oh yeah. Well, he was working on putting up a fence at the time.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Literally. Marie says can't have enough drink containers. I agree. I actually had to go through and get rid of some because I also believe that can't have enough until they're taking over the kitchen. And then I'm like, dang it, I can't have too many.
I do think that we can have too many, but I also think that each cup is kind of in its own category. Like this type of cup serves this specific purpose. This type of cup serves a different purpose. So I don't need, I need to have I got to have at least 8,000 cups.
Yes. Well, and you have to have multiple cups for the same purpose because sometimes they're dirty and you need a new one.
Or a child needs one.
Steals them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All the way.
Checks out.
Yeah. Well, so it's a new month, which means we have a new thematic topic to discuss to some degree.
Yes.
And this month we thought we might talk about stress because that is a hot topic button or a hot topic issue that is always trending.
Yes.
I mean, I can remember listening to podcasts, I don't know, 10 years ago that were talking about stress reduction. You've got to reduce your stress. You've got to increase your sleep. You've got to get more restful sleep, more quality sleep. Get your stress down, stress down, stress down. Don't do anything that stresses you out. That's going to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what that's why we kind of monikered it Say Yes to Less. If you're familiar with the comedian Trey Kennedy, he has a tagline that says, do less, God bless. It cracks me up because I'm like, I need to hear the message of Lindsey, do less. Mm-hmm. Lindsey, do less. I do so very much. So I want to put it to the comments. What kind of like stress barometer is going on in your life right now? Like,
Mhm.
is it stressful in your life?
And
Neely, is it
Suzanne obviously
stressful
has
in
some
your life?
use stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, One of the things that one of my mom friends who public schools her kids has said to me in the past, like, May is like, it's like the worst month in schooling at all, like out of all of
Absolutely.
them. May is the worst. And I said, oh, it's like Maycember. Because, you know, December is usually the month where everybody kind of has a whole bunch of different activities, family gatherings, different community opportunities, things you've got to take care of, people you have to serve, things you've just got to get done in December. So they call May Maycember, because it's just a
Mm.
recycling of all of that stuff. And I'm like, the stress level just increases dramatically at the very end of a traditional school year for people who follow a traditional school year. And then there's also like the buildup of summer. Like, summer is coming and we're looking forward to
We
breaks,
can't
but
waste it.
yeah, don't waste your summer. But also, like,
Mhm.
to be able to have all the summer fun, we have to be able to go through and be like, I gotta front load all of the responsibilities and work and get that all done before summer hits so that
Right.
summer can be loaded with maximum fun opportunities. And
Yeah.
it's just like, ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. It's so stressful. Uh,
Yeah. And I
so
think there's the no, go ahead, you finish.
no, I need a pause for my.
Oh, okay, perfect. There's so many different angles to this. And it's so hard because when we have a topic like stress or nutrition or whatever, exercise, we want a black and white, good, bad. When we have a
Yeah,
diet, we want a yes food list and a no food list. All the yes foods are perfect, all the no foods kill you. You know? And with stress, it's like you're like, "Oh yeah, stress is bad, so let's reduce it. Let's
eliminate it all
eliminate
the
stress
way.
and then life will be perfect." But just like so many things, there's a U-shaped curve. Like there's a right way and a wrong way.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously exercise is stress on your body. So are we saying that exercise is bad? Well, it could be depending on where your body's at, but it also could be really helpful to you. And like the stress of life, like I mean, my daughter's gonna have a baby in a few months. Having a baby is freaking stressful.
Growing the baby is stressful.
Yes, everything about
All of it.
babies is stressful. But it's like we know that that's ultimately a good thing. I wouldn't say,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
protect your stress, don't have a baby." It's
No,
like, no,
that's silly.
there are good
That's
and
ridiculous.
so we have to think about reducing stress, like inappropriate stress or unnecessary stress, but then also looking at ways to help our bodies handle stress better. So it's kind of like an elimination diet where if
Yeah.
we have a messed up gut and every time we eat a green vegetable, we, look like we're 9 months pregnant and are in terrible pain. Yeah, at that point, taking out the green vegetables makes sense in order to function. But the ultimate, I mean, not the ultimate, but a goal could be for that person to do work on their digestive system such that their body doesn't respond to that stressor in the same way.
Yes.
Or, if we're sedentary and we never exercise and then we go on a walk and we hit a hill and we feel like we're about to die, it's not that we say, "Oh, that's too stressful. I
Yeah.
shouldn't do that." We say, "No, I think I need actually a little bit more stress in my life more regularly so that my body actually gets stronger. So this isn't so stressful anymore." So there's a
Right.
difference between just removing the stress and helping your body adapt to handling stress
That's
better.
right.
And there's
I
and
agree.
there's a time and a place for both things, and it's not one without the other.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And I want to say that that is sort of a generalized conclusion that I'm coming to in multiple facets of my life. Like, it's not that I need to explicitly eliminate like plant matter from my diet. I need to get my body to a place of health where it can handle and thrive on
Mhm.
some plant matter. I don't need to eliminate the stress. I mean, it's kind of becoming a joke in my family. Like, is mom getting stressed? Is mom getting stressed? She's getting
Uh-oh. Let's scream about it for a while, see what happens.
right. It's like, do I eliminate having my children in my home because sometimes the noise that they like to like their exuberance is too much
Yeah.
in that moment, or do I practice some self responsibility in saying like maybe I need a timeout for like 5 minutes and being able to use my grown up words and say I need a 5 minute timeout. Can you please write that down and I will come back to this in a minute.
Mhm.
Like, or children will be children and they should be allowed to have like all of their energy get out in some sort of a healthful manner. And if they're playing and having a good time doing it and it's not destructive, maybe I just need to go find a breathing space.
Mhm.
Or like the number of activities, like so many of the things that we do are so good, so
Yeah.
good. Like Caitlin rides horses and Molly dances and Lauren does gymnastics. We're doing active things. They're learning piano. Like I have my hobbies and things like that, and those things are good. They're very good. But
Mhm.
also, like, are we allowing those things to sort of commandeer all of our time?
Mhm.
And I'm fortunate that the end of the school year means the end of the dance season and the end of the gymnastics season. But
Yeah.
also, like, there are some other pieces of the puzzle that I've been involved in that I'm like, maybe I need to take a season off from doing certain things and focus on what matters most, which is like parenting my children
Yeah.
and being part of my family. So um it's not that I need to eliminate those stressors. I need to choose which stressors I spend my energy on
Mhm.
and learn how to tolerate those stressors that are good
Mhm.
better.
Mhm.
Wow, I
Yeah.
feel like I went all over the map on that.
I do feel like it's a very similar to an elimination diet where sometimes it's
You're
good
right.
to just clean out everything and then see who you actually are and then add things back one at a time and be like, "Oh, I can handle that, okay. Oh, that is, cutting into my, whatever else time," and just kinda
Right.
going from there. I think that's a great way to do it and, like, reassess. And we oftentimes, and I'm speaking as, I oftentimes, um, will get into a box where I think, "But we have to do that." Like, I
I do
can't
the same thing.
stop, and then you step back and you're like, "Well, why can't I stop? I I could, like,
Yeah.
not," like, it is a possibility. We don't have to be in that all or nothing type mindset. We can
Right.
do whatever. Yeah.
I agree with you. That whole like, how do you get off of the carousel? Because like
Mhm.
it becomes kind of like this regular monotonous thing. Like every week we're gonna do this thing, we're gonna do this thing, and we're gonna do this thing. And then
Mhm.
it's like, is it necessary or is it just something that fills that time block that maybe if it wasn't filling that time block, it would be like better, like it would better serve me and my family or somehow like reduce some sort of a burden that you didn't know was there.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then you're able to look at the other things and say, I can manage this. Sure,
Mhm.
I can definitely go out on a family bike ride because I'm not worried about hitting the time clock because we've got to be somewhere at this
Mhm.
time or we've got to make sure that this thing comes out at this time and we're doing this thing and that thing. And I feel like my brain is going towards things that open up like the daily weekly ritual so that there's more space to be a little more spontaneous
Yeah.
and be able to manage that better.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the stress thing, it's a big one.
Yeah. I feel like for us, we've always done that with the summertime. We've never
Yeah,
been the kind of family that signs up for all of the camps and all of the sports and
yeah,
all of the things. Some people that it's well, I think it's partly because um, when people work and their kids are in school, it's no problem. And then when the kids are out of school, they need a little bit of, I don't know, childcare. There's all kinds of different dynamics involved, but we've just never done that. Uh, Going back to the time when we couldn't really afford to do that, and we just kind of have kept on with it. And I just love our summers where it's just really low key and
Yes.
play outside and we go to the river and it's just like our schedule's open to just do simple lazy summer things.
Yeah.
And those are the best. It's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah. We have never done the summer camps either. We did look into it for the girls because at our YMCA locally, they do have some very interesting, like thematic, interest based ones. Like there was one that was something to do with like crafting, creating things. And so all 5 days for that specific week, you could, go do those things. And I was like, that sounds interesting. It's expensive. Do we want to do that? And we ultimately decided like, no, that's not something we want to do. And so we don't do the summer camps either. We're considering one for 1 week for one kid. And then beyond that, it's like, I love the fact that we can wake up whenever we want to. For me, that's actually not true. I have to stay in bed till 6. It's not allowed to get out of bed before 6. So, but the kids, they're allowed to do what their bodies naturally do. And then we can have like a slow paced morning. We can call friends and say, hey, do you want to go over to the berry farm and go pick some raspberries and blackberries? Or, do y'all want to go to the pool? Do y'all want to go, like to the park? What do you want to do? We can manage our few little chores and then we can be free. Because we don't live in the world where you can actually like send your kids outside feral anymore, which is really sad and makes you cringe a little and cry a little inside that you're like, that's not the world we live in anymore. But like as much as you can let your kids run feral, I like to let them do that. But anyway,
totally.
Okay. So the stressors in the comments.
Yeah. Kelly Sue says, I blame stress for my current shingles.
Ooh.
That does not sound pleasant. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
Let's see. Platte River Keto says, we have an interesting family dynamics. I have a lot of stress in April as a tax accountant, and my wife as a high school teacher, a lot of stress in May. Yeah, it's like, I think that's probably more natural to have seasons of busy and seasons of more rest. Like if you think about the harvest, farmers would be having their crazy busy time in the spring and the fall, and then the winter is a little bit more laid back in certain ways. So like, and I think that's probably healthy to a degree, but it's just like figuring out balance in all of those times to not let the stress of May wreck your health. So it's a struggle. And with my husband's job, we have a similar thing, except that sometimes it can just be so unpredictable. Like he'll have a big job and he's crazy busy for a few weeks, and then he has some time where he's not so much. And it's just like, that's kind of difficult, where it's not easy to predict.
It's
all kinds of challenges.
Sporadic rather than cyclical.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think that having the foreknowledge of, okay, we generally know this season is going to be more packed.
Yeah.
And so we already have our mindset towards that. It can make it a little easier, and you can kind of imagine the end goalposts. Like, okay, if we hit this, then we're clear. But
right. And then you rest and make up for it.
Hopefully.
Rickwin says, I'm the type of person who can make a mountain out of a molehill if I don't watch it.
Me too.
No, I am always stressed. Oh, that's not good. I have to do hobbies and reading and gardening to turn off my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about different techniques that we use to turn off our mind, or to because we can't avoid stress. Like
no.
some things just happen. And like, what do you do in those moments where maybe unexpected stress hits you, or you can't turn your mind off about, going over and over a certain thing?
And drinking yourself into oblivion is not the right answer.
Yeah, or binging on processed foods is also not a great choice.
Nope,
In my
don't
opinion,
go eat
personal
a package
opinion.
of Oreos. Yeah, whole package of Oreos is a bad plan. That's
Yeah.
a bad plan. Any sort
Yeah.
of binge is a bad plan.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
That for sure checks out.
Sing It says, the general wearing out process is stressing the hubby and me, deciding to be mindful. We can choose how we react to growing old and getting ailments. Food choices help as well. Yeah. Well, and that also is a really good point about kind of letting go of control, like what you can't
Yes.
control, letting go of thinking you can control it. Like we are going to grow old. Like that is just reality. And
Yeah.
so as stressing out about that is only going to make it worse. But choosing how you react to it, that is something you actually have a choice in.
That's right.
So it's kind of shifting that mindset. And
like I'm really good at accepting the fact that like I am getting older, and I'm actually excited about like like any of these little gray guys that keep coming in here, and I'm like, oh, look at those, they're so cute, I want more of those. But I have no clue how I'm going to react whenever it's like a full on like, okay, medically speaking, here's problem A, problem B, problem C,
Right.
problem D, like that's related to aging, and I'm going to be like, I don't know how to respond to that. So hopefully we can practice some solid tactics beforehand.
Seriously. Yeah. It's like I've been so focused on like increasing my health or making my health better over, I mean, my whole health journey. And it's like, but that it's you can't just keep going on that. Like at some point it's going to be going backwards and you're like, dang it.
Yeah, I worked so hard to avoid that, and now it happened.
Yeah,
So
and so it's like, or like balancing your hormones. Like for me, like, oh, my hormones are balanced. Perimenopause is right around the corner. It's just like, yeah. And so you just have to choose how you're going to react. You can't choose what your body's going to do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's so true.
Yeah. Marie says, I've read that kids need boring time in the summer to spark their creativity. Yeah.
Yes.
My kids, no problem with that one. We got that one. Yeah.
I think that my girls, they sometimes have too much creativity in too many different directions, and they can't decide which way to go. So it's not an issue of actual boredom. It's an issue of, I don't know where to turn next because every idea feels like a good one.
Why does that remind me of someone?
What?
Where could they possibly get that from?
I have no idea. Their grandmother, obviously.
No. Yeah, no clue. No clue. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like with stress, like today I stressed my body out. I did a really good leg workout with my friend, and we did things like pistol squats.
Those are the worst.
And we did not do them assisted. We had a wedge, and there was much stress. And the whole time you're shaking, and you're just like, this is how I die. This is what happens. I'm going to keel over right here because this is stressing me out to the point of not being here anymore. But I did it. And I know what's going to happen over the next 48 hours is my legs are going to tremble whenever I try to go down the basement stairs and try to go back up the basement stairs, or try to sit down on a chair or anything else. So I know that's going to happen, and that's going to be stressful, and it's going to like make my body tense up every time that I have to go and sit down. But I also know that after that 48-ish hours, my body's going to feel stronger, and my HRV is going to increase to some degree, hopefully. And so it's like my body is going to say, yes, you did it. And look, here's the benefit. Here's the reward.
Yeah. And your body's like, oh, this is what we need to be able to accomplish. Okay. You can rise to the occasion.
Yeah. Yeah. It's no different than whenever your kid like finished it, like has to press forward to finish some specific assignment or task. And they're like, this is so awful. So awful. I don't want to have to do laundry again. And then whenever they're done with it, like, oh, I have a whole closet full of things that I could wear now. I don't feel like I have nothing to wear.
Yeah, you actually get benefit from it.
That's right. That's right.
Let's see. Sing It says, yes, that's where I am right now. Balancing my post-menopausal hormones is a challenge. Butter. But so much info on it can stress one out. Totally. There's so much info on it. That's
Uh,
like, I'm very thankful for the internet and for how much we can learn on our own. But man, the downside is there are so many people saying so many things, and a lot of time they contradict. And you're like, what? I feel like I have
yeah.
no help.
Right.
You're
Well,
like,
and then
I maybe would be better off if I had no information than have
right.
this information
Yes.
overload.
Bring back the Encyclopedia Britannica and whatever like the original doctor, textbooks were for
Mhm.
anatomy to just understand that. And let's bring back all the books. And then
Seriously.
just something very cathartic about flipping a page and trying to
Mm.
find your spot and then read a little bit and then be like, I accept that.
Well,
I'm gonna move on.
I think another one of the appeals of that is that if you find it in the book, then it means it's true.
Yeah.
Like it.
Questionable logic at some points.
Yeah,
But
it's like
also,
this. I remember when I first started learning about nutrition, after doing the Atkins diet, and I was like, I'm gonna get into nutrition. It's gonna be my hobby. And I went to the bookstore and I got the Ultimate Nutrition Bible or something stupid like that. And it was supposed to be like this encyclopedia of
definitive
all
source.
this, yes, all this information about true things about nutrition. And I'm sure there's plenty of true stuff in there. But I just, as soon as I, like that was just my mindset. Like, oh, there is a truth out there about nutrition, and I will just learn it.
Yeah, just
And
like you learned
then
like
the
how to
internet.
add. You're gonna
Yeah.
learn you're gonna learn history, you're gonna learn science because book.
Yeah. Or math. Yeah. Like math is math. You just
Yeah,
learn
doesn't
it
matter what
or you
language you use.
don't.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
I very quickly learned, well, probably not as quickly as I should have, but I learned eventually that that's not how nutrition works in the real world right now, especially with the internet.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where you're like, okay, this person who wrote this book believes this information to
Mhm.
be true. Like they
Yeah,
genuinely believe it or they believe in whatever, it can bring about or what
yeah,
have you.
yeah.
Um, but we we've been down many roads with our nutrition and health and still trying to
Still figuring
plod
it out.
along on that path. And what worked, I don't know. I've been doing my keto friendly lifestyle. I like to say friendly because it's not always exactly keto.
I mean, what is
But
a
I've been
keto
doing that,
diet anyway?
yeah, January 2016 for me, and you have been like you've got a decade on me before that.
Mhm.
And so it's just like doing it for so long means that we have had like lots of random paths that we've taken or ways that we've gone, and multiple paths have made some form of an impact, some form of a
Yeah,
difference. And it may not have been the actual root, foundational change that needed to happen, but
right.
it gave something. And so there is some amount of opportunity for betterment in each of these little options, but ugh,
Yeah.
the
Well,
stress
and
of
I'm
trying to sift through it is ridiculous.
totally, and I'm really learning just to keep an open mind, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there are things that I, would have told you I was 100% convinced of as far as nutrition
Yeah.
goes, and plenty of other areas as well. And,
Parenting.
I operated as if this was, in stone truth.
Yeah.
And then
Like
now
this
I'm like,
came down from
"Oh,
heaven must do.
yeah." And then, circumstances change and new information comes to light or new experience comes to light, and you're just like, wow. And then you think back of all the times you talked about the thing that you were so
Yeah.
incredibly certain of, and you're like, shoot, I need to be more careful.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like when you attack something and it makes sense to you, like you approach something with the intent to absorb that information and assimilate it into your life. That's what I mean by attack. When you attack the information in the hopes to execute that for yourself, you want that thing to be true because you're putting so much time, effort, and energy into that specific thing. And it's like, okay, this makes sense to me in some realm of logic. This makes sense to me in practicality. So I'm going to do this thing and it will yield the result that I think that it should yield. And then it's like all other options are off the table. You none of them are going to do anything remotely close to this because they don't follow this one simple little logic thing, rather than like, there are multiple paths to get to. There's multiple paths for me to get to town. I could go many different ways, but I do see that as like the narrowing of things, and then that becomes a stressor that's unnecessary. Like I have to operate within these parameters. I cannot deviate. And then all of a sudden something deviates and you're like, oh, I'm stressed out. That goes against everything I know. Panic. I don't know what to do with this. It's stress. It's stop saying stress, Lindsey.
Yeah. Drink some of your electrolytes every time Lindsey says stress.
I'm already out.
Yeah. Oops. Thing it says, have you ladies had a day, week, month that you were humming along and realized you managed stress well?
Good question.
Strange enough for me, pandemic, unrealistic reality, house was a well-oiled machine.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
that is interesting.
I'm
Go
going
ahead.
to let you answer this first.
Oh. I mean, there's definitely, I feel like I should be more aware because it's kind of like when you're having PMS or something and everything is stressful, even like
Yeah.
the tiniest little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize, oh, it's supposed to start tomorrow. So that makes sense.
Sure.
In the times where, those same things are happening, but you're just humming along, you don't notice.
Yeah.
You don't notice it because you don't perceive the stress.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I will say that I started taking Dr. Davis's Gut to Glow supplement, which has the myroiderite in it.
Right.
And one thing that I noticed, well, I noticed a lot of things, and actually I'm going to be doing a video on this hopefully today. I noticed that I was, and I don't know how to really describe it exactly, but stressful things, I was just kind of like, my mind would wander more, if that makes sense. Like,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'd be at exercise class, which is very difficult. Like, it's a hard, like hit training and heavy weights, and it's challenging. And I would find myself like just my mind wandering while I'm still doing the stressful thing. My mind would be wandering and be like, oh, we're done, we're done.
How many reps was that?
Yeah, exactly. It's a good thing there was a teacher telling me what to do, or else I would have been like, oh, oops. But I was still doing it. Like, it wasn't that I was just like not giving it my all.
Engaged.
It was like, for some reason, there was like this little bit of disconnect between the hard work that I was doing and the mental stress I was feeling about it.
Okay.
And I felt I kind of felt the same way about other areas. And actually, I laugh because it was back when I was going to Costco and I ran out of gas. I did a video.
Oh gosh, that video. The whole time I was just like,
Oh,
Lord, what is going on here?
it was crazy. But like, it was after that I was like, I have never in my life run out of gas before. And I think it's because I was more like vigilant, like stressed out in a certain way. Like, I would be like, oh no, I need to get gas. I need to get gas. I'm low. But
Yeah.
like, I was able to like, oh, I'm low on gas. It's fine. Well, so, like, something about that supplement seems to de-stress me in a certain way, yeah. And same with like social interactions and stuff. I have less like anxious thoughts in the social interactions. Like, I just feel like some of that is alleviated.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And so I have to um, it says, wow, so you zoned out. Yeah, it's kind of like that. And so there was a point where I was like, I need to be careful. Like, I need to be aware
Not
of this, and like, if I see the gas tank on low, I need to be aware that my feelings about it may have changed. It's super bizarre. Because
yeah.
I've never been the person where it's like, "Oh, I just forgot to fill up the tank." Like, I'm a very vigilant person. I think vigilant is a good word. But
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
some of that is influenced by some kind of a stress or anxiety that, is just natural to my personality, and something about the gut changes of my reuteri changes that. And so, not that it's bad, like, I don't think it's a bad thing. I actually think it's a really good thing, and I enjoy it. I enjoy having that lower level of stress and anxiety, but I have to be aware of it and adjust my actions based on this new
Based off.
information.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very strange.
For
But
sure.
there's all kinds of ways that help you can help stress beyond just cutting it out completely, or,
For sure.
like, there's your gut health affects the way you feel about things, your hormonal balance, and that's not to take any personal responsibility away. We always have to accept personal responsibility. Everyone has their own set of unique challenges when it comes to gut health and hormones and all these different facets, and it's our responsibility to still be functional human beings and pleasant to
Right.
people around us, no matter what
Yeah.
we're struggling with at the time. But there are different things that we can do that can help alleviate some of that struggle, I guess.
For sure.
Exercise is one of them, shown to be
Yeah.
a way to help you manage stress better. I have found red light therapy to be a huge one for me as well. That I
Mm-hmm.
just you can see it with the rise in HRV. Apparently my
Yes.
body, responds really well to the red light therapy, and I see that HRV go up, and that's just a sign
Yeah.
that, my body can adapt to stress a little bit better with
Yeah.
that baseline of the red light therapy. So there's all kinds of different ways that we can affect our body. And I feel like, again, it's very similar to like nutrition, where we think, oh, if my diet is unhealthy, I need to just change my diet. or if there's something, not that it's unhealthy, but if there's something wrong with my health, I just need to change my diet. Yeah, you
Yeah.
might need to change your diet, but there's also all kinds of things you can do beyond that that helps your body work with the diet that you're eating in a better way,
Yeah.
and not to just have it the single focus of, oh, stress is bad, remove stress. Oh, my diet is not, or my body is unhealthy, just take out foods. No, there's
Yeah.
all kinds of other things that we can do to
Mm.
change the way our bodies function.
For sure. And sometimes adding things is what needs to happen instead of
Totally.
taking things further away.
Right.
I yeah. But back to Singit's question. So like the whole like humming along and realized you're managing stress well, gut to glow seems to be something that is helpful to like that bell curve, like
Yeah.
helpful to a point, and then you have to be a little bit back on top of things with awareness to make sure that it doesn't just slide
Yeah.
right off the end.
Yeah, and it hasn't been anything, like, so dramatic, like, "Oh my gosh, I'm zoning out and swerving into traffic." No, it's not like nothing like that. It's just, and it's another one of those things where it's just like, "Oh, I have all of these, patterns of thinking and habits based on, how I am without that supplement." And so it's
Sure.
just a little bit of a learning curve, I think,
Oh,
to
sure. Sure.
just just be more aware of things and how I'm changing with
Yeah.
and we're always doing that too, like with our hormonal balance as we get older, and so it's, yeah, nothing dramatic, just kind of interesting to, hmm, that's weird. That's different.
Sure. Sure. I
Uh,
wouldn't say for me that there's like a specific thing that makes me realize that we're just humming along. I will say that certain weeks within a monthly cycle for me, I feel very much so like, okay, we managed this, we got on top of it. I feel great about the work that we've accomplished. I know that I feel like I manage stress better whenever we've got like our tasks done. And it's just like, I know what the next thing is that I want to spend time on, like this little bit of free time. I want to spend it on this. And yes, we accomplished what had to be accomplished. So in those little moments, whenever I have been able to do that, like take care of responsibilities first, I feel like I then handle stress better. And that's not to say that I do that all the time, because it is very much so like a roller coaster. It does not happen. So
Yes.
on a regular basis.
So Singin asks, what is the supplement? It is, I'm taking Gut to Glow from Dr. Davis. And in my description of all my videos, I have the My Reuteri link, or Oxyceutics is the company name.
That's quite the name.
I know. Yeah. It's kind of, yeah. And so you can find it there. And I will say that the Gut to Glow supplement includes the My Reuteri, as well as other things more specifically for skin health. So like collagen, marine collagen, and anthozac. I don't know how to say
That one. That one. Yeah.
It's really good for
that one.
Yeah, really good for skin health. And so the other supplements are more for skin. I attribute the brain function stuff that I was talking about to the My Reuteri specifically, and you can buy the My Reuteri by itself without those other things, and it's a lot cheaper buying it by itself. So unless you really want to focus on the skin stuff, you don't have to go for the super expensive Gut to Glow. If you're just looking for that brain stuff, the My Reuteri is a great way to go. I've been taking, so the Gut to Glow, you take 4 of the pills, and that's 40 billion whatevers.
Microbes, live culture.
It's 40 billion, and you can get
40 billion critters.
Exactly. And you can get the My Reuteri in 10 billion capsules or 20 billion capsules. So if you wanted to take the same amount, you would get the 20 billion and then take 2 of them, or get the 10 billion and take 4 of them. And I did experiment with going down to half dose, so 20 billion. And I was like, I don't know if it made a whole lot of difference. And then I went back up. And so I've just been kind of playing around with the dose. But anyways, that's the information on that.
Indeed.
Oh, Charlotte says, thank you for the element package. Love the grapefruit. Yes, that is probably still my favorite. Probably. But I love variety, so I like them all.
Yeah, well, I'm still holding true to the watermelon flavor. That one's
not my favorite. That one's my least favorite.
Well, luckily we are not the same, and you get to like what you like, and
I
get to enjoy what I enjoy.
That's true, although
we are blessed by that.
It's okay for you to be wrong too.
It's okay for you to be wrong. You're right.
Oh, and Carrie has some corny jokes for us here today again. Well, did you have anything else?
I didn't. No.
I wrap up a few minutes early unless anyone has some burning questions that they want answered real quick. We will be back next week. Same time, same place, and we're going to think through some topics relating to this topic, the stress and
sort of keep talking about it
and kind of figuring out that in our lives. So
yeah,
I guess I don't see anything else coming through, so we can go ahead and wrap up. Thanks everybody for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.